What's up, guys? And welcome to VHP Engines. And honestly, I'm seriously hating the fact that I'm having to make this video, because when I made that fucking video months ago for the D series, it was supposed to be the be all end all of questions. But for some fucking reason, you guys are still persisting with it. And I guess maybe I didn't spend enough time going into enough detail about the NA single cam. But I'm pretty sure that when I said waste your time and fucking money to go NA SOHC, that would be enough to clarify. But I guess I need to talk a little bit of numbers. Every one of you fucking guys that are sending me messages asking me about building an NA SOHC because it's cheap are completely missing the point of the whole waste of time and money. It is not cheap to build a maximum power NA single cam. And I have searched and scoured all over the fucking internet to double check what I've already told you guys. You don't see 200 horsepower out of a G16. I saw, the whole thing from like early 2000s where Busy out there supposedly did a 10-second pass on a D15 or whatnot. But I guarantee you that doesn't play so much into the factor of power as in the fact that he was most likely running a tube chassis or whatever. But with that aside being said, I can't find anywhere out there somebody running a 200 horsepower in a single cam, all right? And if you find one, if you manage to search through years and years worth of forum talk and YouTube shit and find a legit 200 horsepower single cam, it takes an insane amount of power to get there, or an insane amount of money to get there. Why? Because you see people doing stroker kits, which aren't fucking cheap, ITBs, which aren't fucking cheap, and fucking like 14-1 compression, which isn't fucking cheap, to build a single cam that gets you, not to mention overboard to like the maximum limit, like 79 fucking millimeter, to get a 175 horsepower, cam gear, valve train, super huge overbore, super high ass compression pistons, stroker kit. With all that money that you will throw into that to make 175, 176 horsepower, you would have made a 500 horsepower single cam. You would have made 500 horsepower and probably had money left over. I love doing the Frankenstein builds, and I tell everybody all the time, do a OEM high compression for a B series block, and you're looking at a 200 horsepower engine, and that doesn't take much effort. For you guys to talk about wanting to build a single cam, the money that it takes to build, even if you go out there and search like 150 horsepower single cam, 150 horsepower to the wheels, right? You're looking at cam gear, tuning, intake manifold, full bolt-ons at a minimum. So already with that money you just spent for that, you're looking at a basic B swap. An NA healthy stock B18 LS will make around 140 some horsepower, right? If you do like bolt-ons tune B20, you're looking at 150 some, 160 horsepower. If you can pick up a fucking B20 for like, thanks to Facebook, anywhere from $300 to $500, and piece together a swap for probably about the same around that, why the fuck would you spend $1,000, $2,000 building a single cam to make that same kind of power? I don't know, man. You don't drive me crazy with that shit, man. And as far as piston rod combination, if you do like do an OEM piston swap in your single cam to bump compression, I think it's the PM6, which come out of the CRX, the A6, I think are the highest compression, or maybe the ZC. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, you're not going to get a huge jump out of it. You're going to go from the 9s to like 10 something, and it's not a B series engine, guys. Your piston is like this big around. Displacement's not very big. You're not looking at much power at all. If you're going to open that engine and you're looking to get power after opening it, you can't do this in A. You're gonna be disappointed every time. You're gonna put all this effort into a rebuild for an engine, and you're gonna go out there and you're gonna get your ass whooped by the world, because you're just not gonna make any power off of it. I don't know. I'm begging you guys. I'm begging you guys to pay attention to me. What I'm saying is, there is no fucking super fast NA fucking single cam. NA is not the way for SOHC. SOHCs are great engines. They're great when you throw boost at it. And no, you don't throw boost at a fucking a stock single cam. I just made a video yesterday. The rods are literally as big as your pinky, all the way around, pinky. You don't want to throw anything more than a 200 horsepower jump at a single cam. All right, and then that goes into another question I got. NA combination. What pistons rods should I use? You only need forged rods when you're looking at doubling the power or more. Now, the B series and shit, they're beefy enough rods where you can break that rule. I do all the time. But for the single cam, you can't break that rule. They make about 100 something to the wheels. Some, depending on which one you have. There's some of them that make 80, 90 to the wheels. So yeah, 200 horsepower is definitely where I would say stop at any kind of power gain if you want to upgrade. Guys, you can build your single cams. You just have to build them right. If you're looking at a budget and you want to make power on a budget, your best 100% best bet on a budget for a single cam, if you're looking for NA power, just a quick jump, is to swap out to a B20. Swap out to a B20. And how do you do this? You take your single cam swap out, you sell that swap for $500, you buy yourself your transmission off of that, and you take some money out your pocket, you buy yourself a B20, and you piece together the last bit of shit you need, and there's your swap. If you cannot do that, if you feel like you cannot disable your car to take out the time for a swap, then piece together a turbo kit for a couple $100 and get a tune. You could make 200 horsepower out of a bolt-on turbo kit and getting a tune, and it should cost you about the same. Tunes generally cost $300, $350. You can get a turbo kit pieced together online from Facebook and shit, local stuff, usually for around about the same, $300 some. So you're looking at $700 for a tune, a turbo kit, and 200 wheel horsepower, and that'll beat your B20 swap on price, and it beats it on power. So, guys, this is, you don't do NA SOHC builds. If you really want to play with your shit, just because you want to tinker, go ahead and put your little intake on there, put your little bolt-ons, and be happy with that. Don't spend anything else beyond that. Beg you guys, please be fucking smart here. Alright, that's it. Hopefully this is like the last time I'm talking about engine building and single cams. I think I have a decent little companion now of things that can be covered. There isn't really anything else I can think of to add to this. It really is a very simple thing. You guys keep trying to find a way to worm into my head about different things for a build. This is it. You can't really do anything in A and expect to make real power. Yeah, unless you're a shop that has fuck tons of money and sponsorships or whatever, and you have 2 chassis or whatever, you're specifically trying to break a world record. And if you are that guy, you're definitely not here on this channel asking me shit. Don't ever expect anything out of your single cam. And now we're getting to the point where I am just not going to reply to single cam questions anymore. Hopefully somebody else on the channel redirects you, or hopefully you go through and find it yourself. But that's it. I'm dropping single cam questions. Anybody who asks for single cam questions in the fucking threads are just going to get ignored from now on. It's not going to deal with it. I've literally exhausted everything I can do to talk about this fucking topic. That's it. I'm fucking done. No more. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Social media fucking shit's in the description below. Thumbs up if you got anything out of the video. Subscribe if you want to see more shit along these lines. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day.